Amber's late.
Coach, brackets came out yesterday. What are your thoughts?
You know, it's always hard to really evaluate brackets. You know, kind of so much different now with the seeding. Remember this time when they seeded the top 16 and threw the rest of them in. And so we're not. Father, how you doing?
I'm well, Coach.
Good. We're not. There's not a real mismatch. You kind of fall where your seed is, your season is. If you're 28th, then there's a reason why you're 28th, right? And so I think that for us, had some good draws, good seeds, and some of them not so good. It's kind of the way it goes when you got 10. You got some that's pleasing and some that's not. And, you take it from there.
Do you ever go into a tournament with a wish list? I wish this guy would do this. I wish this guy would do that. Or
I think more
do you
just
stay away?
you pretty much should be getting what your performance was during the year. And if you don't get that, then you're either blowing it or letting things get to you. I expect a pretty good tournament from this team. Does that mean that we're going to have several high All-Americans? I don't know what it means. I just know that it's going to be hard to beat some of my guys. If they wrestle hard. I've noticed it. And so I just feel like that we can have a really good tournament.
Another reason I ask that is, from the fan standpoint, and I think even maybe a little bit from your standpoint, if you gave me a wish list of one thing at the top, it'd be Dayton. And Dayton did get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
The kid has worked so hard to get that individual NCAA championship. It'd be great to see him get that.
Yeah.
But you can't wish it.
Yeah, you can't wish it. But yeah, that would be right at the top of my list, and with maybe one or two more. That'd be really nice. Dayton's had a good year. Really, probably one of his more challenging years. Really frustrated early on when he's been injured. That's never happened to him. I don't know if he had missed a match till this year. I'm not sure about it. That'd be interesting. I can't remember him being injured and being held out of match, but he was held out of several matches this year and didn't wrestle in the one tournament we wrestled in, and got Cliff Keene. Actually went to the tournament, was prepared to wrestle, and ended up being sick. And so, he's excited, and I think he's enjoyed his final year with this group of guys that I think allowed him to do a lot more and not completely be focused on him. A lot of guys doing well, and I think that gave him a sense of being part of a good team.
Did you expect that he'd be number 1?
Yeah, I thought there was, it all comes down to the end and how your conference tournament goes. And after seeing what happened in some of the conference tournaments, I thought, there's going to be a good chance he's number 1. If you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago, probably not, but the way it played out, where he's at.
John, you talked about how favorable some of the draws were for some of the guys. What are some of the matches and the brackets that
I
interest
didn't
you?
favorable. I just say I liked some of the seeds that we got. I thought that's where we were going to end up, and several of them. And our draws are tough. We might have a couple that we have an opportunity to maybe squeeze out some bonus points. I don't think it's going to be any different than Big 12. We're going to have to win tough matches. We've got a lot of, we've got 4 freshmen, and they're going to have to go win tough matches, you know, and so expect that, you know.
Are there any brackets or paths that interest you from you guys?
Say that
Are
again.
there any of the brackets that interest you? Any of the weight classes?
No, they all interest me. I got 10 of them, you know. I just really, you know, I don't really get too deep into it until our day off, which is tomorrow, and so I peeked at it. And like anyone, I don't want it to change my direction of what I want out of practice. We're still training, we're still working hard, you know, and I want to make sure that we don't get wrapped around who we got, but wrapped around, I got 2 or 3 more good days of training left that I need to take advantage of. We don't need it, but we got it. Let's take advantage of it.
Just in general, the one thing I noticed, there's not a lot of difference between the record of a 6 seed and a 27 seed, for instance.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 1 win or 1 loss. I mean, there seems to be more parity in this sport than
There's a lot
maybe
of
we've
parity.
seen.
You know, I think there's I don't know, maybe 5 teams that can finish second. I think Penn State is the best team in the country this year, and I don't think anybody's going to run them down. I think there's 4 or 5 teams that can take second, and I think there's probably 10 teams that can take third. You know, I mean, you know, you look at, you know, the scoring's different than what we're used to in dual meets. You know, one champ can beat the team that's got 3 All-Americans. You know, depending on what those seeds, where those finishes are. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just a real competitive because of the scoring. Hopefully, we'll see changes with that in the future. I've always said it. I've said it since 1994 to change the scoring. You know, but, it is what it is. You've got to abide by the rules.
When you talk about your team's potential to be one of those that finishes second, how much of that relies on those 4 freshmen?
Yeah, a lot. You know, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's freshmen. I mean, it's you know, you're going to finish high with guys that finish high. You're not going to finish high with guys that finish low. Yeah. So, I didn't even see what we were preceded. Third, really? Wow. Good. That's confidence in us. Who's second?
NC State, I believe.
Who?
NC State.
Iowa State?
Maybe. No, I mean, you guys were ahead of Iowa State.
I'm surprised.
Second thing, but you definitely had Iowa
Wow.
State. That jumped out.
Huh?
I think Lehigh might have been right ahead of us as well.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't imagine that, but I like that. They have, yeah, it's good. And so, competitive, you know.
They were all within about 4 points each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's second to about 8th or something
Yeah.
like that. Which
Yeah.
is real tight.
Tight.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's good. I'm excited about that. My team needs to be excited. I think it's going to be one of those tournaments that's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, you know, I got a chance to watch some of the Big 12, and we've done our conference has done a nice job of building that and opening their doors to the teams that we have in there. We got some great wrestlers in Big 12. We had some great final matches, and really showed some strength in our conference. And I think it's real important that our conference shows out. I think we need that. Really, we need that to combat the Big Ten and give people all over the country a choice of great conferences to go to. And so I think that's the way we're damn sure heading with what I see in the future. for the conference.
How would you evaluate that gap? Is there a gap between these two conferences right now?
Hell yeah. Serious? You're not too familiar with it?
I mean, I'm just.
He just came from SEC country.
We don't have wrestling, so.
Okay. Yeah, there's a gap. The gap is a lot to do with just the conference commitment. And I will say that our Big 12 has been committed to helping us build our conference. You know, when at one time it was down to 3 programs, you know, and so it's been encouraging, and I think that the important thing has been that through the process for some of these schools, through the process their schools gotten stronger and have been noticed, and we're seeing some real progress with South Dakota State, you know,
Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa.
Their fans, that's the other thing. If you get some of those fan bases to come to Kansas City like they were in Tulsa, I noticed that
They'll be
difference.
there. They'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas City's a perfect spot for the Big 12 when you think about it. I don't know if we can get any better than that.
How's Jordan doing?
Jordan's fine. Yeah, he's done a nice job of being able to just work through the process, train a lot. You know, a lot of times you hurt something and you end up training a lot harder than you would have if you were competing every day. Yeah, doing good.
Coach, this morning, North Carolina State announced Zach Esposito as their associate head coach. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm proud of him. Yeah, good for him, and getting to work with Pat Popolizio and another Cowboy wrestler. Good for those guys. I think they'll have obviously the program's successful and most likely continue to be successful. Short stop at Colorado Springs, you know, for Zach. I thought that at one time was the job he really wanted, and I guess when he got in there, he thought differently. Thought about the opportunities to get back into college. I guess he jumped on it, and that's good for him.
Coach, next week you got what's kind of the process from here? I know you said tomorrow's your day off. When you guys leave?
Our process is still training. You know, we're going twice a day, and we're gonna take tomorrow off. We'll go twice on Saturday. And a lot of it's just maintaining your level of intensity, keeping your weight under control, recognizing that these are days. You know, you think about Saturday, and we start wrestling on Thursday. These guys are in good shape, so you don't need more than a day off. These guys recover quickly, and they need to be on the mat. They need to be sweating, maintaining their sense of confidence on a daily basis. You do that in hard workouts and training, you know. And so we'll work all the way through Monday. Get on a bus and head to Kansas City on Tuesday. You know, so we'll get there Tuesday, and most likely have a little workout, and, you know, and Wednesday will be a down day in preparation for start on Thursday, you know. So, but I really don't like jumping ahead too far. I really, every day is kind of is real important, you know, and so when we have these days left, what do? You don't sit and wait. You get in there and you go train. You prepare. You know, you get a little stronger. You control your weight, and you maintain your sense of confidence. So a lot, you know. So I don't get ahead. I just like to make sure that these guys recognize that when you have days left, man, let's use them. You know.
With the, I know the mandatory day off hasn't been a thing for too long now, but have you done this before? Do the Friday before and be able to let them go up, or do you?
Say that again.
Do you like giving them that off day the Friday before? Is that something you've done in the past?
Yeah, you know, we just we mimic the tournament. We go 3 days of practices. So we took off Monday after the Big 12 tournament, and we worked out Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3-day tournament, and just kind of what is it gonna take to have success at the national tournament? It's gonna take 3 days of success. It's gonna take 3 days for this team, for our team to do good. It's 3 days of possibly having to win some 1 and 2 and 3-point matches. Probably a lot of them, right? And so just kind of wrapping yourself around that and giving them a little bit of what they're going to be experiencing. And the good thing is we have some experience, and we have some guys that are going to have to make their experience, right?
Do you like what you're seeing from those guys, whether it's?
We've had a good week. We had a good week. You got to go win matches, and for us, the start of the tournament and several of our matchups are going to be tough. Got to go win tough matches, to have good tournament, and we've done that. Scored 140-something points. It's a Big 12. I said last week that we didn't lose it. Iowa State won it. We did everything I thought we could do to win. We wrestled them 5 times, Iowa State 5 times in the tournament, and went 5-0. I think we did everything we could. But they just kind of kept plugging along with some bonus points that made a big difference. I mean, it was a lopsided in bonus points, 37 or something like that. We had half that, which was the difference. But congratulations to them. I mean, you beat them 5 times and you go 5-0 against you. You couldn't have convinced me we lost if I didn't know that. It'd been hard to convince me. Just give them credit. They clawed it out. Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.